competition drives growth, especially in young men. When men compete, not only is it fun and engaging, but it actually produces the best results. If you want to achieve something, try and make it a competition between yourself and other people. I have found success really only in one instance of my life where I've done this, and that's pretty much in my schooling, where most of my competition was between my other classmates. And just to kind of put it in perspective for you, the competition obviously was trying to get those higher grades, and I ended up finishing the end of my schooling with the highest grades across all my classes, and I took all the hardest classes. I only really realized reflecting back on it that it was kind of the competition that drove me and pushed me to become better at studying, better at getting these good grades. If, however, your goal is to do something like go to the gym, what you can do there is you maybe compete with a friend to try and lift heavier weight than them, or try and do more reps than them in the exercise that you actually want to improve on. If your goal, for example, is something like mine with YouTube and trying to upload consistently, maybe the competition could be between other YouTubers in the same niche to try and upload more frequently than them and get higher engagement on your videos and also upload higher quality videos. Now, just a little bit of a story. Humans are not machines, but the sure way to increase productivity when everything else is pretty much at its max is to introduce a spirit of competition. So this kind of concept came from a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And in that book, he tells of a story where there's this mass producer of steel in the early 1900s called Charles Schwab. And what he does is he walks out during the middle of the day and he's having some issues because his steel mill isn't producing as much steel as he would like, and all his machines have already been tweaked to the max that they can be tweaked to. And so he walks out during the middle of the day and he asks one of his employees how many heats of steel that they had produced during that day. And now heat of steel is just an industry term for 10 coils of steel, but it's essentially a heat, and they only made 6 of them during that day. Now, he did nothing else but whip out a piece of chalk out of his pocket onto the factory floor and drew a big number 6 and walked away. And that's all he did. Now, all the day workers had no idea what the number 6 represented or what it was for, and that was fine. But then the night shift workers rocked up and they said, "What's this big number 6 doing on the floor?" And they asked one of the employees. The employee told them that, that he let Charles Schwab know essentially that they had only produced 6 heats of steel during the day, and they wrote down the big number 6, and that's all he did, and he walked away. And now, unlike the day shift workers, the night shift workers knew exactly what that 6 represented, and they pretty much thought, "Oh, the day shift workers think they're better than us, hey," and we're going to show them. And the next day, Charles Schwab walked in and he saw the big 6 replaced with the big number 7, written with the same chalk that he wrote it in the day prior. And the only thing that kind of changed was the spirit of competition. And in fact, even after that, the day shift workers then saw exactly what had happened, finally got the gist of what had happened, that they erased the 6 and wrote a 7, and they erased the 7 and wrote an 8. So it seems like there was this magic increase in productivity all over the spirit of competition. Competition can help you achieve things, and a number clarifies the target. If you give a young man a target and knowledge that somebody else has gotten close to that target, the results are often surprising. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, stay focused.